TV.
Like I said, Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
Shout out to Flight Sports TV, the machine, the voice of the voiceless, the people's champ, the hottest in the streets. Shout out to the panel as it reaches its premium peak. Shout out to the chat and all of its cacophony spewing out of the cracks and crevices of Flight Sports Block. And definitely shout out to you who pulling up to Flight Sports TV to witness this here extravaganza. Now, please hit that like button, hit the notification bell, and hit the subscription so you will be up on all things concerning Flight Sports TV. Yes, we're live streaming and the game is engaged. The Hornets are up by 1, 10-9. Musa Diabate is shooting free throws. Brandon Williams is charged with the harm. And let's see. You got Kyrie Irving with the Malcolm X hat on the sideline, barking instructions and encouragements to his team as the Hornets are up 12-9. Diabate with the slam. Here come Dallas. And this branding guy for the Dallas Mavericks, I kind of wanted to see how he fills in the absence of Cooper Flag. Right now, Cooper Flag is slightly behind on the odds makers for Rookie of the Year as Lamelo Ball puts one up and Lamelo Ball scores. Put that one in for Lamelo Ball. And Concanippo is the front runner for Rookie of the Year. So good news for the Charlotte Hornets in their 2025 first round draft pick. They made a good one. We already know what Concanippo could do at the three-point shot as he misses from beyond the arc. Rebound Dallas. Here come Dallas. And the record that he has set for the rookie in the season. But we still got a lot of basketball to play as Dallas Mavericks turns it over. LaMelo Ball gets it. Brandon Miller to Musa. And it looks like it's going to be another. Oh, it's out of bounds. Good defense for the Dallas Mavericks. I thought it was going to be a foul. And speaking of Brandon just made a real outstanding defensive play to stop the Charlotte Hornets on the fast break as Musa was out and running ahead of the defense. It looked like he was going to get a sure two points bucket. So the ball is out for Charlotte. They get it in to Brandon Miller, back to Lamelo. No, rims in and out. Diabate did have his hands on it, but couldn't carouse it. So here comes Dallas. Ooh, nice block, Brandon Miller. But it looks like it's going to be a foul. It looks like it's going to be a foul on Brandon Miller. So Brandon Miller doesn't like the call, but it looks like it's going to stay. So they line up for two. Brandon Williams make one of two. And I'm just curious of how Brandon Williams will play throughout this game. Because you know Cooper Flag was leading his team in points, assists, and steals. And at one point, he was leading them in rebounds until recently, P.J. Washington passed him up on that due to his injury. Cooper Flag, we know, is out for 7 straight games. This will be his 8th game. So that hurts him in the runnings of Rookie of the Year, most definitely. Brandon Williams make both of his free throws. Charlotte is up 15-11. And here comes the Charlotte Hornets with Lamelo with the ball as Jason Kidd looks on. Knipple to Lamelo. Lamelo dancing with the Pachulas. Lamelo dribble drive. Lamelo take it to the rack. And is he fouled? Lamelo was pushed to the ground. And let's see what they call here. They swipe at him on the replay. Lamelo looks up. Yeah, he's fouled. Yeah, that's going to be a foul. But he was passing the ball, so the Charlotte Hornets would take it out of bounds. Here comes Miles Bridges with the ball at the top, giving it to Musa. You know nobody's not going to guard Musa up there. Brandon Miller to Miles, and off the front of the rim, rebound the Dallas Mavericks. And here come the Dallas Mavericks on the attack as they cross half court. And here we go. Nice mid-range jump shot is off. Nipple with the rebound as he leads the Charlotte Hornets. And Nipple takes it all the way to the rack and is off and rebound Dallas Mavericks, but Dallas cannot corral the ball. It looks like it was out of bounds. Is that Cody Martin? Yes. Cody Martin's a Dallas Maverick. Who would have thought it? So they got PJ Washington and Cody Martin in uniform as ex-Hornets. And the ball was off of Musa, it looks like. I guess that's what they call it. So Charles Lee makes his first switch of the night. Let's see how deep he goes into his rotation. We know he has an odd way of rotating his players. He normally goes 10 to 11 deep. So Colt Burner comes in. Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller, Lamelo Ball, and Nipple are the 5 for the Hornets as Brandon Williams make another shot. So he's looking pretty good so far. 15-13, Charlotte Hornets is up. Miles Bridges with the ball, give it back to Lamelo. Wild pass, but Lamelo do grab it. Lamelo looks up and he passes out to Khan. Khan gives it back. A nice ball movement. And Lamelo looks, he pump fakes. Here comes Lamelo. And a turnover. Lamelo stepped out of bounds. So the ball will go back to the Dallas Mavericks as they're on a mini run. And we're going to have a break in the action. So far, the Charlotte Hornets is looking pretty good on their home turf, but the Dallas Mavericks are not going anywhere. The Dallas Mavericks do not have any playoff aspirations. Unless something just terribly happen and the bottom teams of the Western Conference collapse. But it doesn't look like they have any playoff aspirations. So they're probably going back into the lottery. Cooper Flag is still out. And the more games he missed, the more leverage Knipple has as being Rookie of the Year. So shout out to everybody putting up the Flight Sports TV. Congratulations on you spending your time with us. And hopefully you have a ball. So let's see if Charlotte Hornet can keep running it up there. I think the Charlotte's on a 3-game win streak, 4-game win streak. So they win streak was snapped. And then they went on another mini win streak. But that was the overall win streak. But the Charlotte Hornets still have intact a road win streak, which is, I believe, is at 9. It's at 9, definitely at 8, because they broke the franchise record for most wins on the road in a row. So they're at home now, but that road streak is still intact. So shout out to the Charlotte Hornets for keeping that win streak intact. So far this season, this group of guys have broken the free throw record, consecutive free throws, Charlotte Hornets organization, win streak, and road win streak, and 3-point shots attempts, I believe, and 3 points made. And Knipple has the most 3-pointers as a rookie in NBA history. And Lamelo, since the new year, since January 1st, Lamelo has made more three-pointers than anyone in the whole NBA. I think Lamelo got 202 three-pointers. I think, excuse me, not 302, 102 three-pointers since January 1st. So you got a lot of Charlotte Hornets is statistically being mentioned throughout the NBA. So shout out to the Hornets for that. Here come the Dallas Mavericks down. Oh, they tied it. Okay, Brandon Williams again. Remember I told you about Brandon Williams in the beginning of the stream now. I told you to keep an eye on that guy. We're going to see what he's really about. Because I think he's a really good player and a good backup for Cooper Flag as the season roll up. Very durable. And he's not afraid of the game. Chris Middleton, nope. Chris Middleton loses the ball. Turnover. So no harm done against the Hornets. And let's see with the steal. I think Lamelo will be credited with the steal. And it's up and it's in. Diabate. Lamelo to Diabate. Oh, no, excuse me, Brandon Miller. Man, that's Brandon Miller, not Diabate. I know all dark skins don't look alike, but excuse me for my falter. Ooh, another turnover. Wait a minute. Oh, my God. What happens? It looks like it was a turnover and Charlotte had the ball. But did somebody call timeout? Well, anyway, it's a break in action, and Charles Lee is bringing in his second group of guys. So right now, Charles Lee is with 8 deep. So he bring in Grant Williams and he bring in Zion James. So Zion James come out early. I'm surprised Kobe White is not in the mix right now. So Zion James beat Kobe White to the floor. And speaking of Zion James, they just hit a three-pointer right over him. Whoa, Charlotte's getting a little reckless with the ball and almost turns it over. Fortunately, for the Charlotte, they still have the ball. Wait a minute, did they give it to Dallas? Uh-oh, that is a turnover. I guess they call it. Did they call it out on? Let's see, what's going on? They're wiping the floor. So the referee got a timeout. Well, I guess that's equipment timeout. They're wiping the floor. And let's see who gets the ball. Zion James is right near the ref to receive the ball. But there's some moisture that's spilled on the floor. And the referee called timeout to get it cleaned up. So you have a tie, 17-17. The Dallas Mavericks are still fighting. I said Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin is in a Dallas uniform and he hit the shot, 22-footer. The White Power with the assist. Martin is still making his mark in the league. He haven't went anywhere. 19. Brandon Miller with the shot. Nice turnaround mid-range. Caleb Martin misses. Offensive rebound, Dallas. Matt Christie misses from the distance. And rebound, Ryan Coltburn. (22-17). Charlotte Hornets up. Let's see how long Dallas will try to fight. Ooh, Josh Green. Yes, Josh, from the top. Nice stroke, Josh Green. Pause. Josh Green has been pretty productive since that run. So that's good for him. I can't call him an apparition anymore because he definitely is corporal and has manifest in the flesh in the third dimension. Looks like it's going to be a foul. Grant Williams foul Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin is still in the league making his mark. Shout out to Caleb, man. People thought that Caleb wasn't going to do it. He wasn't even drafted. His brother, the one was drafted, Cody Martin. I believe out of Nevada, right? Did they go to Nevada? And Caleb is still making his mark, being productive, getting minutes. And right now he's at the free throw line shooting 2 of 2. And he makes it. 22-19. Caleb Martin closes the gap slightly. Brandon Miller, bad pass turnover. Ryan Nembhard, brother of the Indiana Pacers Nembhard, gets the steal. And here he comes. He's pushing the ball. Looking. Good, keeps his dribble. Good concentration. Gives it out for the distance, and it's missed. Sion James with the rebound. And Sion pushes it up past half court. Let's see what he does. A little bump action with Ryan Colbrenner. And here comes Grant. Back to Miller. Miller looks to shoot, and he does. And he makes it. Miller makes it from the distance. Another 3-point basket made for the Charlotte Hornets. 28-19. They're starting to open up a can of whoop ass on the Mavericks. Let's see if the Mavericks, they need a bucket, and they need it right now. Because this game can get out of hand. Oh, a steal. Josh Green with the steal. Josh Green all the way to the cup, and he surrenders. He gives it back up, back to Grant, and it's up, and it's good. Another 3-point shot. Yes. Dallas called timeout. Jason Kidd Peel call. And he had enough of watching the Charlotte Hornets shoot a barrage of 3-pointers and goes in. Man, the Charlotte, I mean, what are we witnessing with the Charlotte Hornets these days? I mean, their 3-point shooting is outstanding. My goodness, timeout for the Dallas Mavericks. 28-19, 3 minutes, 4 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And the Charlotte Hornets is almost at 30 points. And we still got 3 minutes left. I mean, this is blistering. And the Dallas Mavericks do not, and let me repeat, do not have the arsenal to try to keep up if they get in a double-digit deficit. That is not the Dallas Mavericks. So I know it's a Tuesday night in Charlotte. As Jason Tatum has said before, most teams don't get up to play the Hornets on a Tuesday night. But hey, man, the Hornets been making noise and kicking dust and taking names. So I know the Dallas Mavericks is up for this one, especially since Nipple have recently passed up Cooper Flagg for potential Rookie of the Year. Some breaking action. Yeah, like to drink pineapple juice. It's good for your gut. Kills a lot of bacteria in that gut and keep you regulated. So shout out to the chat. I appreciate all you fellas. Rocking with Flight Sports TV. Yeah, the Charlotte Hornets is looking really good. They already got 28 points, and we still got 3 minutes and some seconds left to go in the first quarter. And if Dallas is not careful, they're going to run the Hornets right out of this building. And Brandon Williams, you know, he leads all scorers for the Mavericks with 9 points. And for the Charlotte Hornets, Brandon Miller leads all scores for the game for 10 points. Nipple with 2, Lamelo Ball with 5, Miles Bridges with 3. And then you have several Charlotte Hornets off the bench with 3 points. So in the early going, it's for the Dallas Mavericks, it's the Brandon Williams show. And it's the Brandon Miller show. Nipple comes back into the game. AJ Johnson just missed the 3-point shot. Dallas with the offensive rebound. So Charlotte got to get up on their P's and Q's on the defensive boards because they can't afford to give Dallas second chance opportunities. They need to keep Dallas one and done and keep this game at a distance and make it very difficult for the Mavericks to stay competitive. But right now, we got a loose ball foul on Zion James. Look like P.J. Washington will go and shoot two. P.J. misses his first free throw. Maybe it's a little nerves coming back into the Spectrum Center. Charlotte Hornets drafted P.J. Washington several drafts ago and then gave up on him and sent him to the Phoenix Suns. No. He didn't go to Phoenix. He went straight to Dallas. That's my bad. He went straight to Dallas. And he's been in Dallas ever since. PJ did reach the finals. And they lost that one to the Boston Celtics. So he do have some finals experience, PJ does. And he makes the second. So he was 1 for 2 from the charity stripe. Nipple brings the ball past half court, looking to set up aggressive defense from the Dallas, but to no avail. And it looks like they're going to tag him for a late foul. So it's a late foul on P.J. Washington. Was a little aggressive against Brandon Miller. And Brandon Miller from deep, yes. Brandon Miller again, 3-point shot. Brandon Miller 3-point shooting has improved tremendously. Man, one dribble and shot. Man, nice shooting from Brandon Miller. We already know Nipple got Rookie of the Month. And Charles Lee, I believe in January, we got Coach of the Month. So back-to-back months, Charlotte Hornets have been rewarded. In that same month, I believe Brandon Miller was Player of the Month for the Eastern Conference. Grant Williams misses. Rebound ricochet to the Mavericks. And here comes the Mavericks. They're looking. They got playing the horn offense. We got a little pick and roll with Gafford, and that ball is turned over. Good defense for the Charlotte Hornets right there. Here comes Nipple. No, he gives it up. Around the horn to Zion James. Around the back, Zion goes to the rack. He gives it up. Nipple. Clock running down. No. Rebound. Gafford. And here comes the Mavericks again. Let's see if the Mavericks can make some substance out of this. And they do. Nice shot. Dallas Mavericks. Caleb Martin with the circus shot underneath the rim. So Caleb Martin is making himself very recognizable. It is contributing heavy to the Dallas Mavericks early on in this contest. 31-29. Mavericks down by 9, and the Mavericks almost get a steal. So we get some more substitution. Matt Christie comes into the game for AJ Johnson. Charles Lee brings in Trey Mann for Josh Green. And Brandon Miller misses the 30-footer. So I guess that was a heat check for Brandon Miller. Because he did almost the same exact shot, one dribble and pull. And the Dallas Mavericks will have possession of the ball. As a fast clock engaged, 50 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Charlotte Hornets has passed the 30-point threshold. So they on pace to score 124 points if they keep this up. Trey Mann with the foul. He harassed the dribbler for 90 feet, and he fouled him at the bucket. So shots for the Mavericks. Ryan Nembhard misses the first one. His brother played for the Indiana Pacers, has been a real standout for the last couple of years, and was very instrumental in the Pacers' run to the NBA championship and had a very strong showing in the Eastern Conference Finals against the New York Knicks. 31-23, 8-point lead for the Hornets, and they're looking to add to that lead as Knipple brings the ball past half court, and it's a turnover. Knipple turns the ball over. Here come the Mavericks, and it's up, and he misses the dunk. Zion James with the rebound. Ooh, the Hornets get away with that with Trey Mann with the ball, and they're looking to run some clock. I guess Charles Lee told them to slow it down, run some clock. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to run it as much as they can. Trey Mann still has the ball. He finally relinquished to Knipple, and Knipple for three hits the back of the rim. Rebound. Here comes the Mavericks. Can they get a score before the quarter is over with, which is desperately needed for them? And Ryan Nembhard, no, air ball. Good defense for the Charlotte Hornets. First quarter is a wrap. 31-28, the Charlotte Hornets is up by 8. And we're going to go into the second quarter with the Charlotte Hornets with 85% win percentage, if those who want to know about that. 85% win percentage for the Charlotte Hornets. And they did go over the 30-point threshold. And better, they kept the Dallas Mavericks under 25. That's good defense. Because the Dallas Mavericks, they're coming. They're trying to play very hard up and down the court. They're trying to keep pace with the Hornets. But unfortunately, it just looked like in the first quarter, they just don't have the talent. Just like the Charlotte Hornets roster is still more superior. When you got Lamelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Knipple, Diabate, or Colt Brenner, that's a lot of height. I'm not counting Miles Bridges because he's undersized for his position. But you got 4 of the 5 starting lineup with height, length, and they can just be disruptive. They don't have to be the best on-ball defender, but their height and their length can make it difficult for other teams that's not providing that kind of size in the front court. And this is why Brandon Miller can just explode, because he can come play like the 2 guard. Even though he's the 3, he can come play like the 2 guard and shoot over anyone that's defending him. And that's what he has been doing since the Hornets has been on this magnificent run. So you got a lot of teams vying for the top spot in the Eastern Conference. The Western Conference seemed like a 2-team race, but in the Eastern Conference, it could be a 4-team race, especially with Cleveland coming on the way they're coming on. So we're going to have Brent Williams come back in the game, Lamelo Ball coming back into the game, Musa Diabate coming back in the game, and Brandon Miller would take his first break of the night. At Dallas Mavericks trying to counter with their subs. So let's see how the second quarter goes and who makes the adjustments. And if Dallas can shrink the lead, or if the Charlotte Hornets can expand on their lead going into the half. Miles Bridges misses. Dwight Powell gets the rebound. You got Brandon Williams still leading with 9 points for the Dallas Mavericks. And you got Brandon Miller leading all scores with 12, and Knipple with 9, and Lamelo Ball with 7. (31-28). Nobody got any advantage. DJ Washington misses from 25 feet. Miles Bridges get the rebound. And let's see if Miles Bridges can go to work. Nobody wants to put the ball in the bucket. Nobody has scored. PJ misses another shot. Lamelo Ball with the rebound. Let's see if anybody want to score. 31-28. We got almost a minute gone in the second quarter. And here comes Khan. Gives it up to Miles. Miles give it up to Trey. Trey with the dribble drive. Trey with the pump fake. He gives it back to Lamelo. Lamelo looks like he's going to go for deep. Lamelo goes to the rack. Lamelo shoots, and it's a miss, but it's a foul. There is a foul on the play. And Ryan Copeland entered the game for Musa. So the Charlotte Hornets would have 14 seconds to do it again. LaMelo Ball with his interior penetration pause put Dallas in harm's way, and they fouled him. P.J. Washington with a defensive rebound. Knipple misses the 26-footer. Can't be mad at that. The way that man shoots 3-pointers, he got the green light. It looks like Brandon Miller got the green light as well. LaMelo Ball with the personal foul. Charlotte Hornets with almost a minute and 30 seconds gone. Well, over a minute and 30 seconds gone. Let's say a minute and 45 seconds into the second quarter. 31-25. Hornets called timeout. So the Hornets are stuck on 31. There's almost 2 minutes have passed. And it just gave Dwight Powell an easy dunk to the basket. And I don't think Charles Lee is impressed with that gaping hole, almost like Moses spitting the Red Sea. And Powell just trotted to the basket with a dunk, uncontested. So the Hornets lead shrunk from 11 to 6. So we can honestly say the Dallas Mavericks is on a 5-0 run. Timeout action. Let's see. Let's go to the chat. See what the chat is. The Hornets have a bad whistle. Finally, a game I can watch along with your play-by-play. Shout out to Chuck. Appreciate it. Kobe White isn't going to play tonight. LaMelo is on minute restriction. Okay. But back-to-back, no Kobe White tonight. Okay, no wonder Sion James came in so early. Curious minds want to know. So there you have it. That's why Sion James was in so early, because no Kobe White back-to-back. And LaMelo is being reported as on a minute restriction. So we'll see how that goes. So hopefully the Hornets can blow them out in the third like they've been doing most of their opponents in this recent streak they have. Well, I think they won 3 in a row. They basically won the game in the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, the game was over with, and they was able to rest the players at the leisure of the coach. And that's a good luxury to have. So hopefully tonight things go the same way, and we can get the top portion of the roster extra rest. Jason Kidd.
To Coach Lee right now. And again, he's under the radar. I think he should be Coach of the Year for what he's done so far with this young team.
Of course, Jason Kidd, Hall of Famer, NBA champ, 10-time NBA All-Star. He knows something about great teams, playing on them, coaching them. So I asked him, what is something that great teams have that's hard to coach that he sees in the Charlotte Hornets? That was his answer right there. He also said help. He said they listen to their coach. He had them bought in. He says they're playing connected, they're playing together. He did go on to say it all starts with Lamelo Ball. He's the head of the snake. He's having fun. He is communicating, and the rest of the guys are really playing off that.
But you heard it, Jason Kidd himself, Hall of Famer, and Charles Lee, Coach of the Year. I don't agree, but that's what Jason Kidd perspective. And we also had Flight even mentioned Charles Lee as Coach of the Year. Here comes a turnover. Charlotte has surrendered another bucket and another turnover from Charlotte. Oh my God, they're playing pretty sloppy. LaMelo Ball needs to get back into this game. 31. Is that 29? 31-27? Ooh, they closed that gap. Look, Charlotte hasn't even scored since the second quarter. That's 3 minutes in. They on a drought. Miles Bridges missed it. Another rebound. Mavericks, they can put it to one bucket right here. And it's fouled on the floor. I don't know if it's going to be shots, but it looks like Miles Bridges was tagged with the violence. Oh, LaMelo Ball is in the game. I didn't see him. So LaMelo Ball is in the game. Miles Bridges with the shooting foul. So with this here, the Dallas Mavericks could bring this game to one score. Oh, it's a tech. Oh, my God. Charlotte's falling apart. They make the tech. 31-28. Mavericks down by 3. P.J. Washington, LaMelo Ball is chirping a little bit. P.J. Washington smirks at LaMelo Ball. Maybe they was talking about some old-time stuff. Josh Green into the game for Trey Mann. And bucket made. 31-29. 31-30. He makes both of them. So this is a new basketball game, folks. P.J. Washington makes all 3. This gonna be interesting. Oh, 33-30. Yes. Miles Bridges make a nice little hook shot. So I guess he made it for the foul in the tech. Good pass from LaMelo Ball. Wow, I don't know how LaMelo Ball got that ball to Miles. But nevertheless, Miles makes them pay in positive result. Dallas with the offensive rebound as they heave up threes and they finally makes it. Was that P.J. Washington? Yeah, P.J. Washington makes the 3. High ball game. 33-33. Dallas fighting. LaMelo with the ball. LaMelo with the shot. LaMelo with the miss. And here comes Dallas. See if they can take the lead from the corner. Oh, hits the top of the backboard. My goodness. 8 minutes in. 4 minutes in. 8 minutes to go. Here we go. Miles Bridges with the bully ball. Nope. But it looks like it's going to be a foul. Looks like it's going to be a shooting foul on Williams. I think, is that Jalen Williams' brother? Or is he still in Utah? Jalen Williams from the Oklahoma City Thunder has a brother in the league as well. I know he was at Utah at one point, but I see a Williams with a headband, and it looks like that might be his brother. LaMelo Ball back out. What the hell LaMelo Ball being substituted for? Chris Middleton back into the game. Zion James in for LaMelo Ball. P.J. Washington enters the game. Caleb Williams into the game for P.J. Washington. Hope Burner goes out. 34-33. Miles Bridges missed the second of 2. So there's a lot of juggling on this roster with these substitutions for both teams. Maybe because of the pace. Josh Green takes up the defense. Dallas do get it over. Here comes the Mavericks. Powell with the dribble. And it looks like Caleb is trying to take it on his own. And he's bumped and he's fouled. So Caleb is giving the Charlotte Hornets problems. His aggressive play is giving the Hornets problems. Now, the Charlotte Hornets win percentile went from 85 to 69. Caleb missed the first. So the Mavericks is missing a lot of free throws. But they're getting to the line way more than the Charlotte Hornets. And the Charlotte Hornets is at home, just inside their silo. Daniel Gafford entered the game for Powell. So it's a lot of in and out. So I don't even know if I can just keep up with all this in and out. It's making me somewhat dizzy with all of this substitution going on. So the Hornets only scored 3 points in almost 4 minutes and 15 seconds. And Dallas haven't did any better. So the Hornets shooting percentage have went down significantly since the first quarter. Miles on the baseline. Miles kicking out to Josh. Josh shoots the three. And he cash money. Josh Green once again from the distance. Con Knipple with the defense. Yes. Block shot from Con Knipple. Musa with the rebound. Okay, Charlotte. Con Knipple misses the three, though. Musa with the offensive rebound. That second opportunity. Musa make the 2-point shot. Yes. I got to applaud him for that hustle. Got to applaud Musa for that hustle, man. Musa got the rebound, went right back up with it with aggression. And it looked like it's going to be an and one. The referee blew the whistle in Charlotte Hornets' favor. Very few times tonight has that happened. Musa got the position. Musa was aggressive. He was rewarded for his aggression. And he got an and one. Count that bucket. 39-33. Charlotte kind of opens up a little bit. Musa missing. Wait a minute. Lane violation? Woo! Musa get a second chance. Chris Middleton with the lane violation. Jason Kidd is looking like, man, what's going on here? We can't give these guys extra opportunities. They're too good. Charlotte win percentile has went up to 81%, but down from this height of 85%. Brandon Miller comes into the game. For Con Knipple. So you got a lot of in and out with these two coaches. Musa makes the free throw. See, second time's a charm. They gave him a second opportunity and he made it. He made him pay. So Dallas will inbound the ball. Musa Sion James harassed a little bit, but he backed off. And now the Charlotte Hornets defense sets up. And here come the Mavericks. Swinging the ball around. Mavericks still have control of the ball. Dribble drive to the bucket from Nimrod. And rebound Sion James. So they came out empty on that one. Back to Sion James to the rack. Oh, my God. Sion James with the flush. Dallas Mavericks parted like the Red Sea and gave Sion James a wide open lane that even a donkey could pass through. Wow, nice dunk. 42-33. Started up by 9 again. Man, look at that. They up by 9 again. 6 minutes and 21 seconds to go with the second quarter until the break. Charlotte 42 and Mavericks stuck at 33. So the Mavericks is in the drought now. At first, Charlotte was in the drought. Now the Mavericks is in the drought. So the Hornets is currently on a 9-0 run. We know basketball is a game of runs. It's the definition of momentum. And if you can have more runs than your opponent, or if you can stifle your opponent's run, most likely you will be the victor in the contest. And that's one thing about professional basketball, man. Those runs could be vicious. So Jason Kidd, Peel he calls his troop over to recalibrate them, and hopefully he can get them in alignment with his strategy and thwart the Hornets from expanding on their lead, which is currently at 9. So good play for the Charlotte Hornets. PJ Washington, 7 points. Brandon Williams, 11 points. Off the bench, you got Martin with 6 points. And he leads all bench players with 6 points. Chris Middleton is, I don't know what's going on with Chris Middleton. It's like a no-show, right? Yeah, his game just deteriorated. Miles Bridges, 6 points. Musa, 5 points. Miller, 13. Lead all scorers tonight so far. Lamelo, 5. And Knipple, 2. So they had Lamelo at 7. So they must have gave. That is Knipple. Didn't he hit some threes? Maybe he didn't hit no threes. And Josh Green leads Charlotte bench with 6 points. I thought Knipple hit a 3. Maybe his foot was on the line. Because they always go back to check. Yeah. He didn't hit the 3. LaMelo do have 4 assists. So, I mean, nobody's really exploding. Brandon Miller with 13 points and Brandon Williams with 11. But nobody's really exploded. So, I don't know. It's still cat and mouse to me. So let's see how it continues as we come back from the break. Charlotte Hornet once again on a 9-0 run. Musa with a personal foul. Looks like the Mavericks go to the line to shoot 2. Charles Lee looking like, what the hell? What the hell? Nope, no shot. Dallas retaining possession. Dallas are in the set. Bunch of dribble handoff, DHOs. Good defense for Josh Green. And Josh Green gets scored on. Chris Middleton, as I called his name, scored that one. But Chris, he don't look enthused for some reason. He just don't look enthused to be a Dallas Maverick. Maybe because everybody's not there and all the trades that went down. And it looks like that's going to be an offensive foul on Brandon Miller. So a turnover for Charlotte Hornets, 42-35, 5 minutes, 32 seconds left to go in the second. The little chicken elbow. Oh, no. That was more than a little chicken elbow. That was to the chin. Caleb Martin absorbed that punishment as a victim from Brandon Miller. Missed shot, Brandon Miller with the rebound. So let's go. Here comes Brandon. He pushing. He's looking. And it looks like he turned the ball over. Bad pass, Brandon Miller turns the ball over. Brandon Williams come back. He misses. Oh, Brandon Miller with another rebound. Charlotte went back up to 85%. Win projectile. So that's a good sign for the Hive. 42-35, they're still stuck. Now they finally break that 42 mark with a bucket. Brandon Miller makes the driving layup. So Brandon Miller has 15 points. Now you're looking at some pretty good output. 15 points in the first half. Brandon Miller with the offhand. Now it went up again to 86. This is the highest win percentile posted so far for this game. 86%, nearly 87%. Dallas retaliates with the bucket. And the Hornets brings it up slow. Miles Bridges with the ball, passing the logo. Looks like he's being challenged by Chris Middleton. Gives the ball up to Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller dances around a little bit, back to Miles. Miles pulls up a 3 and is off, and it looks like Miles was fouled. Oh, Caleb is contesting that, and he was a little too aggressive, and Miles Bridges looked like he would shoot 3 if his foot was kind of close to the line. But let's see if they give him, they gave him 3. He makes the first, 46-37. Back to 9. Mm-hmm. I want to see if they can get up to 90% win percentile. Miles makes the second. Honka Nipple entered the game for Sion James. Grant Williams entered for Musa Diabate. And Ryan Nimbar entered the game for Brandon Williams. Max Christie entered the game for AJ Johnson. So it's a lot. See, I keep saying there's a lot of juggling going on here. Both coaches are playing shenanigans with their roster. 89% win percentile. Miles make all 3 free throws. Brent Williams with the offensive rebound. Oh, Josh Green from the distance. Oh, yes. Josh Green from the distance. Oh, my God. 88% win percentile for the Charlotte Hornets. Can it get to 90? Once it gets to 90, I will stop announcing it. Then it gets to 90. 49-37, the largest lead for the Hornets. That's 12 points. Miles missed that free throw. Okay, I got it. Okay. It looked like was Conklin hit for the foul? I missed that. Lamelo Ball comes back in the game for Miles Bridges. PJ Washington enters the game for Caleb Martin, and Daniel Gafford is replaced. Dwight Powell comes in for Daniel Gafford. See, what is all this juggling going on? Are they making mockery of the game? With all this in and out, and we haven't even come to halftime yet? We got 3 minutes and 35 seconds for halftime, and they got all this juggling going on with the substitution. Both guys, Lee and Kidd. Charlotte up by 12. I want to see the win percentile to 90. Once it gets to 90, I won't announce it anymore. Middleton makes free throw. Pat Connaughton entered the game. Oh my God, that's 11. Is that 11 or 12 so far? Let me check. Let me check to see how many people Charles Lee put in this damn game. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11. Charles Lee went 11 deep. It's not even halftime. Oh man, I just don't understand it. Looks like it's a turnover. Dwight Powell makes the layup. Chris Middleton with the assist. 49-40. So Charlotte was up by 12. Lamelo Ball with that turnover. Cost him. Looked like Pat Connaughton got a personal foul. Cooper Flagg is over on the bench observing. So that was on the floor. Oh, they must be in the bonus. So Charlotte looked like they was in the bonus because it looked like that foul was on the floor. Powell would shoot 2. And he misses the first of 2. Good job. 49-41. Powell gets the second. So it's a 8-point difference. It was 12. So the Dallas Mavericks in about 15 seconds made it +4 for them. And let's see if Charlotte can come back and extend it, and they do. Nice bucket. Charlotte goes up 51-50. 51-41. They go up by 10. That was on Conklin reverse layup. Nimbrad misses. Khan gets the rebound. So Dallas is struggling from beyond the arc. Grant Williams. Oh my God. Grant Williams. Yes, he showed up for duty. Great job. So here we go. Dallas Mavericks. Oh, good pump fake. He take it to the rack and he makes it. Chris Middleton looking like slow-mo. Oh no, that was PJ Washington. Excuse me. PJ Washington out here looking like slow-mo. It took forever for him to get to that bucket. But Charlotte got the ball. They give it to Lamelo, top of the key. Ooh, Lamelo shoots off one leg and it makes it. Oh my God. The one-legged three-pointer, Lamelo makes it. 57-43. The Charlotte Hornets up by 14 with the ball after the Dallas Mavericks just missed. And another three. Oh no, Con misses it. Con misses three. Oh man, the crowd would have tore the roof up if Con would have made that shot. So here we go. Here comes Dallas. Let's see if they can score. But it's been tough for the Mavericks, man. Charlotte got some pretty good defense. Look at another stop from Charlotte. Here comes Lamelo pushing the ball past the logo. Lamelo behind the back. Lamelo gets blitzed. Lamelo looks, almost turns it over. Gives it out to who's that? Who shot that ball? Oh, Pat Connaughton. Good defense from the Lamelo ball. That was good defense, but the ball went out of bounds, so it'll be the Dallas Mavericks basketball. Lamelo with the step back one-legged three. Incredible. So we got some more substitutions coming. Miles Bridges entered the game for Josh Green. I don't understand this. 56 seconds left, fast clock engaged. And here we go. A lot of substitution going on in this game. Good defense, Charlie. Oh, he launches and he makes it. Who the hell made that shot? Oh, Nimrod. Oh, no, Christie. Christie made a three-point shot. Grant misses. Concanip with the offensive rebound. See, that's what makes Hornets really good because they get a lot of second opportunities because they hustle on the offensive board. Lamelo ball, bad pass, another turnover. PJ Washington makes them pay for that one. 57-48, game to 9. 18 seconds left to go. So they gave Grant Williams a goaltending. Ooh, that was close. That was close. Okay, here we are. We at the break. Lamelo missed the last shot with 0.5 seconds left. So we at the break. The Hornets is up at halftime. They're 87% win total. They have yet to cross the 90 win percent threshold. So I will still be announcing as the game goes on. But we're at the halftime break, and right now we can see that the Charlotte Hornets is playing pretty good basketball. They didn't sleepwalk through this. They didn't score 31 points like they did in the first quarter, but they did score 36, and they still won the quarter by 1. So as long as they win the quarter by 1, there's no way that the Dallas Mavericks can catch up, right? If they win every quarter by 1 for the entirety of this game, the Dallas Mavericks can't catch up. And we see that the Dallas Mavericks is played a little better in the second quarter than they did the first quarter, but the Charlotte Hornets didn't play as well in the second quarter as they did in the first quarter. So even though the Charlotte Hornets kept the Dallas Mavericks at 25 points, which is average, they only scored 26 points, which is 1 point above average for a quarter. So let's see how this thing shakes out for the second half. And once again, shout out Flight Sports TV, the machine, voice of the voiceless, the people's champ, the hottest in these streets. And thank you all for joining us on this occasional Tuesday where Jason Tatum has spoke ill about the Charlotte Hornets Tuesday night game in Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't know why he did that, but he did. And the next game that the Charlotte Hornets played the Boston Celtics that year, they washed the Celtics. They ripped them apart because that was material for the blackboard going into that game. Let's hope the Charlotte Hornets, they're up by 11, 48-51, double digits. That's what you want at halftime. You want to be up by double digits, especially on your home court. And they're doing that. So Charles Lee, even though he's unorthodox when it comes to roster manipulation during games, is working, right? So far, so good. It's working. I mean, it's disturbing to me, but maybe because I'm an old head, I'm not used to seeing that much talent being flipped during the games. Maybe it's a new form of basketball that is coming into view. And I'm just archaic and outdated. I don't know. We'll see. I don't like it. But who am I, right? I don't get paid the big bucks. I'm just an intelligent observer. So let's see if Charles Lee can will out a victory, which I think he will. The Charlotte went up to 80, I believe it was 88% in the win towel. And in the win percentile for the game. That's the highest. Now I think they sit at 87. But once they get to 90, I'll stop announcing it. Because normally when you get to 90, you kind of win the game. You kind of win the game, especially if you're up by double digits. And the way this game is looking, the way Charlotte was playing defense, they had a few laps in defensive assignments. But overall, they've been playing pretty good defense. So I'll give them a B+. Because this is a team that could be that could sneak up on you, the Dallas Mavericks. And the Charlotte Hornets are not allowing that. So whatever the spread is for this game, I'm quite sure the Charlotte Hornets is covering that spread according to FanDuel or any other online betting site. 57-48, they're up by 11. And that should be expected for a team that's not competing for anything. And the Charlotte Hornets is competing for something. So I'm not shocked. I'm just relieved. That this is not one of those games that the Charlotte Hornets come in and try to sleepwalk through a victory and get uprooted by the Dallas Mavericks. And that happens from time to time when you play against teams that are not as ambitious and don't have the goals at this portion of the season that you have, because they're not contending for anything. They're just waiting for their young rookie sensation, Cooper Flag, to come back and finish out the season strong as a unit, be cohesive, have some chemistry, and they can see who they're going to keep and who they're going to release come next season. So this is all the Dallas Mavericks was wanting. They want to end the season healthy, even though they're not competing for anything significant except pride. And how much value you put on competitive pride. Charlotte Hornets, on the other hand, is competing for something. They're the last leg of the play-in. And I don't think they want that to slip away, but it could end up in a play-in regardless of how good or bad they play, because of some of the other teams are not competing for postseason presence, but instead a higher percentage in the draft lottery. So that could be a good thing for the Charlotte Hornets. That anything below 11, 12 is not really competing for anything. So it's up to the Charlotte Hornets to fight for home court in a play-in, and they have to do that by having a better record than Atlanta or tying Atlanta. If they tie with Atlanta, I think they won the season series with Atlanta, and that will put them at the 9th seed. If they get at the 9th seed, then they will have a home court play-in game to start the postseason. Then after that, it's on the road. On the road again. I can't wait to get on the road again. Seeing all my friends. I can't wait to get on the road again. And they will have to have their winning ways on the road. And what we've seen so far since January 1st in the new year, 2026, the Charlotte Hornets have been a dope team on the road. They currently have an 8-game road winning streak intact, the longest winning streak of franchise history. So I know it's at 8. It could be 9. I could be 1 game off, but I definitely know it's at 8. And that's the largest or the longest win streak in Charlotte Hornets franchise history on the road. And they had some pretty good names to come through those corridors and play on that hardwood. And this group of guys right here in uniform in 2025, 2026 have generated the longest win streak, the longest road win streak in Charlotte Hornets history. So big up for Charlotte for that. We already know that Brandon Miller got the most consecutive free throws within the organization history. We know that Con Knipple, rookie, got the most 3-point shots made in the organizational history and in the NBA as a rookie, and the fastest in NBA history to hit 200 3-pointers. We know since January 1st, 2026, Lamelo Ball leads the league in 3 points made. And that's over 100. So the Charlotte Hornets have a lot of accomplishments they have this year. We know that Colt Brenner, at one portion of the season, had the NBA rookie field goal percentage of all time. And at one point, he was on verge of setting the NBA record of all time. And then that got derailed. So they got a lot of productive young players in uniform for the Charlotte Hornets that are doing some magnificent work in teal and purple. And I think they need the credit that they deserve. I think we need to commend these men for their effort. Jason Kidd projected Charles Lee to be coach of the year. I don't see it, but Jason Kidd, his eyes probably better than mine when it comes to this. I think Bernie Bickerstaff Jr., right? Or Joey Mazzulla, the Sicilian up in Boston. I think they have done more with their squads than what Charles Lee have done with his squad. Being 10th or 9th in the play-in, I don't think that should render you coach of the year. I think other coaches are doing much better and much more for teams than just being a 9th or 10th seed in a weak conference. And we know the East is weak. So I think most of that is just promotion. Just help the game, help promote the game that you're currently in. Because Jason Kidd can say that about Detroit when they play Detroit, right? He can say that about Boston when they play Boston. He can say that about the Spurs when they play the Spurs. And it'll be more legitimate than saying about Charles Lee. Charles Lee done a fairly good job. Most people expected the Hornets to be in the play-in. It was only some subjected the Hornets to be a disaster. So if those who projected the Hornets to be in the play-in, some even projected them to be a 6 seed. I heard that. So they are disappointed then. If you projected the Hornets to be a 6 seed, then you have to be disappointed right now. And if you're disappointed, then you can't say Charles Lee is coach of the year because he didn't meet expectations according to your observation and your prognostication. But who would have thought Detroit? I mean, let's be real. Who would have thought Detroit would be where they'd be? Who would have thought the Spurs would be where they'd be? Especially when the Oklahoma City Thunder just took off this season, right? In the first half of the season, the first quarter of the season. I won't say half because it kind of fell off coming to halftime when Shea got hurt. But in the first quarter of the season, you thought that they were on verge of breaking Golden State record. At least tying the Bulls. They could still tie the Bulls, I think. And look at San Antonio, what they did. They stayed neck and neck with them. So right now they're 1-2, right, in the Western Conference. And the top 3 teams with the best record in the league is OKC, Detroit, and San Antonio, right? OKC, we're not surprised about. Mark Daigneault, what he's doing with his team, we're not surprised. But we are surprised with Detroit and San Antonio. We are surprised with Boston because everybody had written Boston off. Okay, Boston, you can tank this year and get your high draft pick. We don't have to worry about Tatum. But Tatum is talking about coming back. And Tatum said if you come back, he's not coming back as no role player. So you're not going to put him in spots or bring him off the bench. Tatum coming in and business as usual. So what Joey Mazzulla's doing up there in Beantown is magnificent. What JD is doing up in Motown is magnificent. What his name, Fernandez, is doing at the Riverwalk is magnificent. So I put those coaches ahead of Charles Lee, and I wouldn't shed a tear about it. So let's go as the third quarter begins. We get the starters back on the floor. Let's see how things work out with Charlotte, because this is the quarter where they just run teams out the building. Miles Bridges misses from the distance. Gafford with the rebound. Gafford with the bucket. So first team that strikes is the Dallas Mavericks, 57-50. Almost a minute went by. Musabati, offensive goaltending. Max Christie missed the shot. Brandon Miller with the rebound. Let's go, Charlotte. Let's wake up. Brandon Miller misses the shot. Middleton with the rebound. So here comes Dallas. Oh, my God. Dallas has brought this thing to 5. So I know Charles Lee going to call a timeout any second. 57-52. Mavericks on a 9-0 run. Okay, let's go now. Nipple makes a 17-foot jump shot. He banks it off the backboard, old school style. Bad pass. Lamelo with the steal. Let's go. Lamelo pulls up. Oh, Lamelo misses. Brandon Williams with the rebound. Dallas is coming back towards, and Matt Chrissy misses. 59-52. Brandon Miller with the rebound. 10 minutes to go into the third quarter. Let's see if the Charlotte Hornets can expand on their lead and run them out the building like they have the last several games, where the third quarter, they just exploded like nothing you ever seen before. Almost like a neutron bomb. Miles Bridges misses from the distance. Brandon Miller with the offensive rebound. Yes! Okay, Charlotte, back up to 10. Charlotte on a 5-0 run. This is what we like. Lamelo ball from the distance. Yes, we like that. 25-foot three-point shot, Lamelo ball. Good. They back up 10. 9-8. Dallas Mavericks answers. Eight-point shot, Chris Middleton with his mid-range fade. 62-54. Lamelo kicks it out. Miles Bridges to the rack. Wait a minute. What happened? Oh, Chris Middleton with the foul. So Miles Bridges will go to shoot 2. 9-14, 63-54. Miles Bridges made 1 of 2. So he's set to shoot the second. Miles Bridges misses the second. Oh my God, Miles Bridges is not shooting well from the line tonight. Chris Middleton with the rebound. Here comes Dallas coming the opposite way. They looking to attack. Christie missed the shot. Defense, Hornets, let's go. Rebound. What the Hornets going to do? They up 9. What they going to do with this possession? Jason Kidd is looking like, man, we can't get a break on them three-point shots. Okay, here we go. Lamelo ball passing the logo. He gives it up. Miles Bridges driving layup. Yes, Nipple with the assist. Yes, Nipple. Brandon Williams misses. Musa with the rebound. Let's go. Hornets up by 11. Hornets up by 13. Lamelo ball misses offensive rebound. Yes, Lamelo with the deep shot. This is crazy. It's crazy. Jason Kidd calls timeout on that one because once Lamelo ball just shoot with no conscience, you got to call timeout. You got to call timeout. Because that right there, he shot that with no conscience. He's just like, whatever, kid. So Mavericks with the timeout, and the Charlotte Hornets cracked the 90% win mark. 90 percentile win mark. So I would not say it anymore. And they did in the third quarter. And we know the Charlotte Hornets can explode in the third quarter. We have seen that way too many times, right? How they just explodes in the third quarter. So let's go and see. Why is it timeout? Okay, Middleton, 7 points. Gafford, 6 points. P.J. Washington, 11 points. Brandon Williams, he's stuck on 11. He had 11 in the first quarter. He's doing Alonzo Ball. Score in one quarter, and then that's it. Matt Christie, 5 points. And Caleb Martin leading all scores off the bench for the Dallas Mavericks. Miles Bridges, 11. Usa, 5. Miller, 15. Lamelo, 14. Nipple, 6. Not a good scoring night for Khan, but he's being productive in other areas. Off the bench, Josh Green leads all scores off the bench with 9. 68-54. They matched their largest lead of the game, which is 14. And timeout, Dallas. Jason Kidd had enough of that. So far in this early portion of the third quarter, you got 4 minutes in. Charlotte scored 11. Mavericks scored 6. It feels like Charlotte scored way more than 11 points this quarter, but that's what they have officially. Lamelo Ball with the 3-point shot to make Jason Kidd call timeout to stop the momentum for the time being, while Jason Kidd speaks with his troops and try to get them realigned with this strategy. Let's see how much that works. I mean, Jason Kidd, they come in there limping, right? And they made some massive transactions, excuse me, not transitions. They made some massive transactions. Why they do that shit? 1 second, guys. Let me put on Do Not Disturb. Hey, can I put on Do Not Disturb? There we go. Okay, we back. Got to put on Do Not Disturb because they get to calling me. They want to wait till nighttime to call me. All day they don't call me. As soon as they get nighttime, they want to call. Okay, here we go. Back in action. 68-54. Substitution. Powell's in for Galford. Dwight Powell out of bounds. Bad pass. Turnover. The Charlotte Hornets has the opportunity to increase their lead as they turn over the Mavericks once again. And here we go. Lamelo Ball slow walking the ball past half court. He's got the logo. He's met with opposition. And here's Brandon Miller back to Conker. Nice ball movement. Back to Miller. Let's see what the Miller. Oh, he drives to the bucket. Miller turn around. He shoots a nice little layup, but no, he misses. And Dallas Mavericks get the rebound. And here comes the Mavericks trying to cut into the deficit. Nice pass. And did they count that? Uh-oh. Did they count that? Did he make it? Maybe not. Dwight Powell goes to the free throw line. He did not make the bucket, but he did make his first free throw. Josh Green into the game for Conker. A lot of juggling on the roster. 68-56. Hornets up by 12. Josh should shoot his second and last free throws. And he makes it. He makes 2 of 2. Here comes Lamelo Ball. He's being guarded by Williams. Melo crossover. He gives it to Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller was blitzed. Okay, Diabate with the screen. Give it back to Bridges. Bridges hesitate. Bridges go to the rack. Gives it to Josh Green from the corner. No. Diabate with the rebound. He gives it to Lamelo. Lamelo puts it up. Oh, Lamelo misses from the corner. So here comes Dallas. I mean, Hornets had plenty of opportunity. Oh, man, they call a bum foul on Miller. They call a bum foul on Miller. Williams will go to the line and probably get his first points since the first quarter. He's been relegated to nothing. Williams misses the first free throw. He still haven't scored since the first quarter. So this is his last opportunity. Conker comes back into the game for Brandon Miller. He just left. Max Christie comes back into the game. What is this? What is this? He just left. He come back into the game. I'm going to take note of that. 68-57, 6 minutes and 55 seconds left to go into the third. Brandon Miller will take his break. And Williams makes the second of two. And the Hornets is up by 11, 68-57. So that's his first point since the first quarter. I know Jason Kidd is relieved that the young man got on a scoring train. Here comes Lamelo. Lamelo looks. Oh, we got Powell on him. Lamelo finna juice this dude. He got Josh Powell on him. And then Lamelo do juice him. Oh, what they call? What they call a foul on Lamelo? Wait. No, it's not. No. No. It was a foul going to the bucket. And Lamelo would shoot a tech. Oh, 3 seconds. That's what it was. Three seconds for the defense. And that was on Brandon Williams. I was wondering what the hell just happened, but Lamelo cooked Norman Powell. I know Norman Powell was intrepid when he seen Lamelo out there with the ball on the island all onto himself. Diabate gives it up to Lamelo. Lamelo kicks it back to Brandon. Oh, excuse me. Miles missed it. It looked like there's a foul on the floor. I don't know what the heck Dallas is doing. Personal foul, Dwight Powell. Lamelo from the distance. No good. A.J. Johnson rebound. Brandon Williams misses a shot. 69-57. Hornets up by 12. 6 minutes, 23 seconds to go. A.J. Johnson offensive rebound. Wow, Dallas just blew an opportunity. But Lamelo gets the foul. So how many fouls on Lamelo? Let's check. That's another. Lamelo should have at least 3 fouls. Let's see how many fouls Lamelo got. Lamelo Ball. Foul. Yep, he got 3 fouls. So he's not in danger of anything. 69-58, Charlotte up by 11. 6 minutes and 23 seconds left to go in the third. Johnson makes the first. Ryan Coburner comes into the game for Musa Diabate. More subs. Lamelo goes out. And it looks like who comes in for Lamelo? I don't see who comes in for Lamelo. I haven't seen the number yet. Johnson makes both. Who was that? Is that Trey Mann? Oh, no, Lamelo's not out. I thought Lamelo went to the sideline. Oh, he went to the sideline for something else. Oh, yes. Yes, Knipple and Coburner. The Caucasian connection. Did you see what just happened right there? Knipple to Coburner. 71-59. And there's a foul. Norman Powell misses. Josh Green with the foul. That was nice connection between the Caucasian brothers. Conker Nipple is a good playmaker. I'm starting to notice that. Yeah, he's a good playmaker. Dwight, I keep calling him Josh Powell, Norman Powell. He's every Powell except Dwight Powell. Well, Dwight Powell makes 2 free throws. You got to beckon me because I don't see Dallas often. But Dwight Powell, not Josh, not Norman. Norman plays with the Miami Heat. Okay, Lamelo Ball past half court, being guarded by AJ. Uh-oh, Coburner again? Coburner again? Ryan Coburner again with back-to-back dunks. Miles Bridges on the other half of that for the assist. Now here comes Dallas, 73-63, back to double digits. Ooh, nice shot from Chris Middleton. Dang, that was flawless. You know him in that mid-range. He was one of the top mid-range shooters. Him, Devin Booker, and DeMar DeRozan at one point. as well as you got Kevin Durant as well. Knipple. Yeah, he added to his total. Knipple from deep 76 to 63, 13-point deficit for the Dallas Mavericks. No timeout call. They're going to run it. Jason Kidd say run it. Here go Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton going to work in the mid-range. Guarded by Knipple. Good defense. He kicks it out. Rebound. Back to the Mavericks. They will retain possession. Knipple from deep. Okay, we got more substitutions coming along. Brandon Williams is coming back into the game. 4 minutes and 39 seconds, 76 to 65, 11-point deficit for the Mavericks. Nimrod is back in the game. Lamelo takes a breather. And Dwight Powell with the score. You got Zion James in for Lamelo. So Zion James getting a lot of minutes because of the Kobe White back-to-back situation. Nope, Calm misses that one. PJ Washington entered the game for Chris Middleton. As there was almost a turnover. Zion James got his hand on it, but the ball will be retained by the Dallas Mavericks. No harm, no foul. Grant Williams coming to the game. 76-65. 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 8 seconds after going to the third quarter. The Charlotte Hornets have not ran off with the game. Normally they run off in the third quarter, but not tonight. Dallas been pretty steady. Almost a turnover. It looks like it's going to be a foul. So Grant Williams is going to come into the game for Miles Bridges. Knipple with the personal foul. Matt Christie and Dwight Powell talks it over. Look like Dwight Powell will go to the line and shoot 2. 76-65. 4 minutes, 8 seconds to go. Dwight Powell makes the first. Dwight Powell makes the second. Oh, misses the second. Misses it. So he gets 1 of 2. And here we go. James with the rebound. He gives it off to Knipple. Knipple slow dribbles past half court. Met by Middleton. Gives it off to Grant. Grant gives it off to Colt. Here comes, shit. Knipple was the contact. Knipple to Grant, and he throws up a 3, and he makes it. Block shot. Goldbringer. Good defensive stop. Zion James with the rebound. Zion James with the missed shot. Knipple with the offensive rebound. Man, what's going on with Dallas? They can't get a rebound? The Hornets is not even a tall team. They got Grant Williams out there. Mavericks timeout. Goldbringer with another dunk. 81-66. This is the largest lead for the Hornets, 15 points. 3 minutes, 9 seconds left to go. And the Hornets have their largest lead of the night. Ryan Goldbringer with the dunk and Josh Green on the other half of that for the assist. So playmaking is all around for the Charlotte Hornets. And that's a good sign when you just don't have one designated playmaker. Anybody can play make, and they're showing. We already know Grant Williams can play make. We already know that Brandon Miller can play make. And we definitely have seen Knipple play make. We don't even need to mention on Lamelo Ball and his playmaking skills. So everybody that's come to the party to play make and to play a lot of unselfish basketball, that's basically what that's saying. If you got multiple players playmaking, Zion James and all come to the party, that means that you're playing unselfish basketball. Let's see what this comment says. "19 wins last season, and we are way better then this year, that's probably why Lee has a possibility of getting Coach of the Year. No. Stop that. He's not getting Coach of the Year. Studio. He's not going to get Coach of the Year. I mean, he could be considered, and that's good, right? Because even if you don't get it, you consider for Coach of the Year, then that means eyes are on you the next season. And if you have a darling kind of a season, then you might possibly can get it because you was a candidate before. You know, it's rare that a coach will get Coach of the Year just come out of the blue, right? Basically, you got to earn your dues. But when you look at Charles Lee, like you said, he's done a good job. I know I had a lot of harsh criticism for Charles Lee, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, he did pretty well to keep the team focused and to keep the team diligent enough to be in the postseason hunt. So he definitely get credit for that, right? Because this team could have just fell apart like they have in previous seasons. You know, they look like they lost a few games in a row and they just pack it in like, oh, gonna be another one of those years. But fortunately for Charles Lee and his coaching staff, whatever they have echoed through the chambers of the Charlotte Hornets locker room, it has resonated to the core of those players. Back in action, we got Caleb Martin on the floor. Brandon Williams into the game again. Oh, Dwight Powell, offensive rebound. Offensive foul. Okay, that's a turnover. Charlotte Hornets has already got 81 points, and this is the third quarter. Still got 3 minutes to go. (81-66). Charlotte's up 15. Zion James missed the shot. Caleb Martin with the rebound, ex-Charlotte Hornets. One of James Borrego favorites. One of the Martin twins. P.J. Washington makes three-footer. The White Powell on the other end with this. Oh, Ryan Coburn with foul. Uh-oh. 81-68, 2:34 left to go in this quarter. And it looks like P.J. Washington will shoot one. So they go line up. I know P.J. Washington had fun in Charlotte with his tenure with the Charlotte Hornets. P.J. Washington missed the free throw. But he got the Dallas Mavericks. He became a real serious player, right? Coburn with the defense of rebound. Zion James bring the ball past half court. Zion James missed a three-point shot. Zion James' shot is not falling tonight. It was wide open. Nobody in his face. Oh, wait a minute. Zion, yes. 84-68. That's his first three-pointer tonight, I think. I think he hit one earlier. He might have hit one in the first quarter, I think. So I think he hit one earlier. But he has been missing a lot from the one he made. And it's a foul on Grant Williams. And that's Brandon Williams, not related. Will shoot two. So Williams on Williams, violence. So let's go. He makes it. So the Dallas Mavericks got 70 points. That's pretty good for a third quarter. 70 points. But the Charlotte Hornets just exploded. 84 points. So you got 84 points to 70. You still got a minute plus to play. Brandon hit both free throws. The Lamelo Ball still on the bench. He probably will stay on the bench for the remainder of the third quarter. No Brandon Miller, no Miles Bridges. But you got Nipple. Grant Williams, from deep. 87-70, 17-point lead for the Charlotte Hornets. Coburn with the rebound, and they have the ball. 17-point lead with the ball. 19 points. Nipple, Josh Green assist. Oh my God. They just exploding towards the end of this quarter. My goodness. PJ misses. So wait a minute now. They can score some more. Grant Williams with the rebound. Let's see what they do before the quarter ends. Can they get to 90? Can the Hornets get to 90? Oh, that's crazy. They just all of a sudden just exploded. 30 seconds to go. Man, they got to 90. Oh my God. 92 points. 22-point lead. Man, Lamelo might not come back. They done won the game again in the third freaking quarter. This is mad crazy. Zion James. Oh my God, that's back-to-back threes for him. This is crazy. You see how they just exploded that fast? 92-70. I mean, it was just like a 5-point game. Hornets on the 8-0 run right now. This is crazy, man. And they still can score. Oh, it's a foul. So this might break the run. Brandon Williams will go to the line. Nipple with another foul. Is that 5 on Nipple? Is that 5 fouls on him? Nipple was close to being disqualified. But who cares, right? I mean, they're up by 21. And it looks like Brandon might make the second and then just be up by 20, but still, it's got 10 seconds left. So the Hornets got enough time to peel off a decent shot and can score again. Lamelo ball into the green for Josh Green. So we got some firepower out there. 10 seconds left to go to the third quarter, and the Charlotte Hornets just exploded on the 8-0 run. I mean, just like that. That's mad crazy. And they're going to end the quarter on the 8-2 run. And Nipple lost the ball with a turnover. So listen, they're up by 20. They up by 20, man. That's crazy. That is crazy. 92-72. Chris Middleton with 9 points. PJ Washington 13. Brandon Williams with 16. And Dwight Powell with 12 off the bench, lead all scorers for the Mavericks. Bridges 11. Diabate 5. Miller 15. Lamelo 15. Nipple 11. And Grant Williams lead all scorers off the bench with 12. That's crazy how they just exploded like that. I mean, just right before our eyes. 35 points in that quarter. That's the largest point total in this game in the third quarter. And we know how the Charlotte Hornets gets in the third quarter. And it was close at one point. And then they just exploded, and now it's just plus 11. And another thing in that third quarter, what is eye-popping, the Charlotte Hornets kept the Dallas Mavericks under average. They only scored 24 points. So the most points in any quarter tonight, the Dallas Mavericks score was 25. And the Charlotte Hornets not having one of their better games. The Charlotte worst quarter was 26. It just happened towards the last 2 minutes of that third quarter. The Charlotte Hornets exploded on the 8-0 run. When you got that kind of firepower and you playing a team that's not so ambitious as yours, and you still dominate, that's nasty work. That's definitely nasty work. You're not sleepwalking through this one. You're trying to end it so you can rest your top portion of your roster as we enter the fourth quarter. And that's what the Charlotte Hornets is trying to do. Lamelo Ball is out on the court. Lamelo Ball sporting his little afro with the twist. That's crazy how they just exploded that fast, man. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. Okay, here we go. Dallas Mavericks with the ball. They play like a soft zone. Charlotte play like a soft zone. Dallas scores. So they score first in the fourth quarter. Now they're down 18. Lamelo deep. Nope. Dallas get the rebound. Here come Dallas. Down 18. PJ Washington to the rack. PJ Washington scores. 76-92. Brandon Miller. He looking. Brandon Miller shoots and he's fouled. So good foul. And the Charlotte Hornets have an opportunity to score in the fourth quarter. Brandon Miller go to the free throw line. You know, he's basically a sure thing. I understand he lost his streak a couple of games ago. And he makes the first free throw. 94-76, 11 minutes, 14 seconds to go. So it's not too much time off the clock. Just a few seconds, less than a minute, passed by in the fourth quarter. As he sets the next one, Brandon Miller makes both, 94-76. Here come the Mavericks. Nimbar, oh, it's a foul. Who was that foul on? Is it either Lamelo or Grant? Let's see what they give it to. They gave it to Grant Williams. Lamelo harassed the inbounder. Good defense, Brandon Miller. Now, that might be on Lamelo. I think that foul's on him. Oh, Brandon Miller. They gave it to Brandon Miller. So Brandon Miller gets tagged for that foul. Dallas will take the ball out with 14 seconds. Pat Connaughton entered the game for Brandon Miller. So that's quick work for Brandon Miller. I don't think he likes that. Oh, they gave up a three-point shot. Nimrod. That's not a good sign. It was a good shot from Ryan, though. Here comes Lamelo coming past half court. Pat Connaughton. Yes! He makes it back up. No harm, no foul. So he neutralized that three-pointer from Ryan. Okay, he's looking again. He's supposed to push it up, but it looks like a dead ball. That might be on Lamelo. Lamelo kind of, oh, Diabate. Man, they let Lamelo kind of, I thought that was on Lamelo. Oh, that could have been on what's your name too, though. That could have been on Gafford. Oh, my God. Christie misses. Mavericks offensive rebound. Grant loses the ball. Foul. Loose ball foul on Grant. He's damn near disqualified. That's way too many fouls on Grant. I think he might have fouled out. If not, he got 5 for definitely. Gafford got away with that one again, to be honest. That could have went either way. So I think Grant fouled out. Because they brought in Cyan James for him. Chris Middleton missed the shot. Oh no, Grant got 5. He ain't fouled out. So let's see what this lineup does. Dallas getting a little physical right now. 97-81, 15-point lead for the Mavericks. I mean, for the Hornets. Nembhard misses. Good. That's a good thing. Lamelo misses. Diabate with the rebound. Hornets stuck on 97. Oh, yes, they finally break the 97 barrier. So Hornets is 1 point away from the 100-point threshold. 99-81. 18-point lead. Zion with the layup. Chris Middleton misses. Lamelo with the rebound. Let's go. Good hustle rebound for the Melo Ball. He was up there with the Giants. It's a foul. I think the foul's on Chris Middleton. Lamelo turned the damn ball over. Yeah. Moves up, block. Yes. Man, Chrissy get the ball back though. So that's 4 fouls on Lamelo. 99-83, 16-point lead for the Hornets. They're not in danger of anything as of yet. A little less than 9 minutes of basketball. Miles Bridges misses. Dallas with the rebound. The Hornets, they have a nice steady offensive flow. It just, Miles Bridges missed the shot. It was kind of a difficult shot, but I wouldn't have took it. Chris Middleton with another turnover. Offensive foul charge, Chris Middleton. Mavericks timeout. The game is getting kind of sloppy right now. Mavericks call a timeout. 99-83. I don't know what's going on with the Charlotte Hornets right now. They stuck on 99. But nevertheless, they're winning. They're up by 16. So we've had a commercial break. The Hornets is playing decent basketball. And I'm just glad they're not playing. It's also going to be a coach's challenge. Okay, they're going to challenge that Middleton foul. And we're going to give you the results on that as it resumes. But I'm just glad the Hornets are not playing the kind of basketball where they try to sleepwalk to a victory. Sleepwalk to a victory. They're playing hard. They're having stops. Dallas is trying to play a little more physical. I noticed that because they bumping a little more and trying to take the Hornets off their square. But the Hornets responded pretty good because once the Mavericks start playing more physical, it seemed like the Hornets decided, oh, they wouldn't want to play? Okay, let's play. And next thing you know, the Hornets went on an 8-0 run. And since the 8-0 run, nobody has really been on the run since then. It's kind of been a little back and forth, but no significant runs. And that's what you want. If anybody going to run, you want to go on a run, especially in your home building. That is satisfying to watch if you're in the highs. 99-83, 8 minutes, 24 seconds to go in the fourth. Coach's challenge. Let's see how they. Brandon Williams lead all scorers for the Mavericks with 16. Dwight Powell, 12, lead all scorers for the Mavericks off the bench. Brandon Miller leads all scorers for the game with 17. And Williams lead all Hornets off the bench with 12. So let's see how the coaches challenge. Yep, they lose. It'll be Hornets ball. They lose challenge. So Middleton is charged with offensive foul. Hornets ball. Hornets up by 16, 99-83. Substitution going on for the Dallas Mavericks. They want to try to change the scope of this basketball game. So the Hornets have the ball. Let's see if the Hornets can get that 100 points. Lamelo. Miles. Back to Diabate. Back to Lamelo. Lamelo with the one-legger. Wait a minute. What happened? They call a foul. They call a foul. Who's the foul on? Matt Christie with the personal foul. They didn't give Lamelo the shooting foul. Lamelo drive. Kicks it to Miles. Miles looking. Miles got an open. Miles shoots. Miles misses. Diabate with the rebound, and it looked like it'll be a foul. Diabate was pushed in the back. Looked like it was pushed in the back by Williams. It's on Chris Middleton. Oh, my God. Chris Middleton, how many fouls you get? You should be gone. Is Chris Middleton fouled out? Nope. Pat Connaughton, bad pass. P.J. Washington missed the shot. So, Deion James with the rebound. Diabate, yeah, Melo with the assist. Melo and Diabate, they cracked that 100. 100 to 80, 101 to 83. So Charlotte Hornet in their drought. It was a nice recovery from Diabate. It looked like that pass was long. Diabate recovered it and alley-oop. Assist Lamelo. 101-83. Back to 18. Looked like it was going to be a turnover, but it's going to be a foul on Lamelo. That's 5 on Lamelo. So he's coming out. That's 5 on Lamelo. Melo's a little happy hands. Looks like he's going to come. Oh, is he going to come out or what? Matt Christie makes the free throw. I don't see no sub for Lamelo yet. Matt Christie makes both free throws. No sub. Charles Lee gonna roll the dice with Lamelo. Gafford blocks the Lamelo shot. Williams defense. A rebound. 101 to 85. 16-point lead for the Hornets with 7 minutes to go. Good job for Gafford blocking the shot because Lamelo was right there. It looks like it's going to be a foul on Deion James. And who's it? Yeah, Williams go to the line to shoot 2. So that foul was tagged to Deion James. A little too violent. But it looked more as a slip. But since Deion James was moving, they're going to tag him with the foul. Shout out to Flight Sports TV, the machine. Voice of the voiceless, the people's champ, the hottest in the streets. Williams makes the first of two. So his stimulus was good. Let's see if he get another stimulus check. Hopefully he missed. They say return the sender or insufficient funds. Nope, he makes it. Both checks are good. 101.87. Lamelo still in the game. Miles Bridges misses. Max Chrissy with the rebound. Here comes Dallas with the push. Gives it up to Williams. Williams misses. Offensive rebound, Galford. Galford misses. Zion James with the rebound. Lamelo Ball misses the three-point shot. Matt Christie with the rebound. Here come Dallas. Chris Middleton misses. Pat Connaughton with the defensive rebound. 5 minutes, 40 seconds to go. 104.87. Hornets with a 17-point cushion. Pat Connaughton makes it, yes. Lamelo Ball with the assist. $104.87. Here's Dallas. Williams with the ball. He kicks it out to Middleton. Middleton down to Gafford. Gafford. Oh, steal Lamelo Ball. It was a steal Lamelo Ball, and he pushed Lamelo, but it won't get Lamelo the call, but it looks like it's going to be a loose ball, and nobody really possessed it. Caleb come in, and Dallas will retain the ball. Matt Christie with the miss. Offensive rebound, Dallas. Lamelo got pushed, but they didn't call it. They're letting the physicality carry on. Shot clock violation. $104.87, 5 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Charles Lee wanted to talk it over with his people. So we have another break in the action. Hornets look like they're on track to win another. And so that will be, was that 4 games in a row now? Is that the little mini win streak? 4 games in a row and 8 games win streak on the road. So, I mean, that's winning, right? That's winning. That looks like it's starting to turn into a winning culture. You're winning on the road and you got a win streak intact. Especially in this kind of a competitive environment, you always want to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. You don't ever want to enter a game where you think you can sleepwalk to the finish line, because then that is the potential of a trap game. You don't want to be involved in a trap game. You want to be able to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. And you want to beat them handsomely, where there's no doubt who's the superior. And right now, the Hornets is doing that. Mind you, the Mavericks do come in limping. They're without their sensational rookie, Cooper Flag. They made major transactions. And so the Mavericks is basically a shell of themselves of the past 2 seasons. So we do recognize that. But it's not the fault of anyone but the Mavericks. They fired their GM and Nico Harrison. But crocodile tears, right? 2 tears in the bucket, fuck it. So you come into North Carolina, North Kakalaki, and this is what you get, a can of whoop ass. And this is how it's supposed to be. Nobody's shedding tears for the Dallas Mavericks. Because some even is suspicious, skeptical, and uncertain of how the Dallas Mavericks got the number 1 pick. And this is why I don't care if you take, because it's a system in place. And with that system in place, you get a percentage of the draft balls. And there's no guarantee you get the number 1 pick overall if you have the worst record. That's why I'm in favor of the system that's in place. Because if that was the case, Utah would have got the number 1 pick, right? Because they had the most percentage of getting the number 1 pick. And they ended up getting like 8th or something like that. It was towards the bottom. So if there's some shenanigans while you're on the court, then when it comes to the lottery, there's going to be some shenanigans at the lottery. So it balances out. You can think if you want to, but that don't guarantee you that Commissioner Adam Silver is going to give you that ball. 104-87, the score remains the same. Hornets up by 17. 4 minutes, 28 seconds left to go in this contest. And K-Dap Martin with the foul. You got 2 ex-Hornets currently in Mavericks uniform and playing tonight. Who would thought Caleb Martin would have reached this far in his career? All right. Congratulations, Caleb Martin. I remember I used to advocate for the Martin win because I knew there was crash dummies. And I know that teams need crash dummies. And some of us, Lamelo would take his break, and some of us recognize that, and some of us don't recognize it. But even though there was crash dummies, they wasn't playing within their boundaries under the dictates of James Borrego. They still kind of played outside the scope of their talent, and that's what threw a lot of stuff in tangent during that time. Hope Brenner at the free throw line. Hope Brenner make both of his free throws. 106-87. Zion James missed a shot. Rebound the Mavericks. We're under 4 minutes to go. Dwight Powell misses. Josh Green with the defensive rebound. Nobody gained any ground since Colt Burner hit the 2 free throws. Charlotte Hornets scores. Tom Knipple makes one. That's a 1-foot shot. 108-87. 21-point lead. You've probably seen the last of Lamelo Ball. I don't think Brandon Miller's going to come back in the game. Probably Miles Bridges won't come back either. And Conklin was at the free throw line, and he missed it. The and one. Pretty shocking for Conklin Nipple. So as soon as there's another dead ball, I'm quite sure Charles Lee will remove Conklin Nipple. Colt Burner with the foul, 108-87. I don't think Diabate is coming back into the game. We didn't see much of Trey Mann. I'm shocked because we saw a lot of Zion James, but very little of Trey Mann. And you would think Trey Mann would have occurred the minutes that Kobe White would have accumulated. But no, Caleb Martin misses the first of 2 free throws. But no, you saw Zion James get those minutes. So I wonder what kind of, was there a clash on the bench? with Lee and Trae Young? Because even in this situation, you would think you would see some of Trae Man. That man missed both free throws. He ended up missed both free throws, and the crowd is going crazy because he's an ex-Hornet. Hornets gave him his first shot of an NBA career. And those little clappers back there distracted him enough. He missed both. So 110-87 is a 23-point lead, the largest lead of the night. The Hornets on a 9-0 run. So I'm quite sure both teams get ready to empty their benches on the next dead ball. Oh my God, Cole Burner and Con Knipple. The Caucasian connection. That could be awesome in the future. And that's something the NBA would love to see. They haven't seen that since Bird and McHale, right? Or if you want to kind of put Stockton and Hornacek, right? That was a good Caucasian connection. Hornets on a 9-0 run, 110-88. 2 minutes, 37 seconds left to go. In this one, we can basically call this one a wrap. Hornets keep their win streak alive. So, I can eat strawberries. So, Con Knipple goes to the bench. I didn't see who they put in for him. Oh, they put Tijan Salam. Where's Trae Man? Did Trae Man hurt himself? Where the hell is Trae Man? These are Trae Man minutes. I'm trying to see if I can spot him on the bench. Oh, I see him. I think I see him. Yeah, why Trae Man's in there and Deion James in there? Tijan Salam's in there. Hope Brenner's in there. Ooh, Deion James, another 3-point shot, 25-footer. 113-88, 25-point lead for the Hornets. Oh my God, this is devastating. And he gets a steal. The Hornets want more. And let's see if they can get more. Let's see if Tijan Salam can get on the scoreboard in this game. Deion James is taking over. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, he missed it. Wait a minute. They get it back. Oh my God, they got more. Josh Green, the former apparition. Oh my God. 27-point lead. And this is the backup. And Deion James with a rebound. They can go up 30. They can go up 29. Oh my God, what are we watching? This is the Hornets. It's going to be ugly in the postseason. It looks like there's a foul. Tijan Salam looks like he got fouled. He kind of like, he's holding his knee. Tijan Salam holding his knee. He haven't got up yet. Uh-oh. He's getting up slowly as he grimaces. He limps. Is he going to shoot the free throws? Ooh. He's walking it off. He misses his first free throw. So his knee is bothering him. He gets his first minutes of the night. He comes in and get injured. Then he misses his first free throw. Let's see. He misses both. Rebound Dallas. 115, 88, 23-point lead. Dallas scores. Sion James takes foul. T-John he's finna go to the locker room. Sion James fouled on purpose so they can get T-John Salon out. They want him to go to the locker room, but he's trying to see if he can stay. The trainer's trying to take T.J. Salon to the locker room. That's not a good sign for the young man. So I don't know if they take him to the locker room or he stayed. Yeah, he going to the locker room. John going to the locker room. 115 to 90, 25-point lead, 55 seconds left pass. Clock is engaged. And there's a foul. A.J. Johnson on the call. Why is he fouling? I don't know. 55 seconds left to go. You're down 26. I think you should just let the clock run out. Take it to the locker room. Shout out to Flight Sports TV, the machine, the voice of the voiceless, the people's champ, the hottest in the streets. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you won't miss one iota of an exuberant experience. "37 seconds left to go. Hornets up by 27. And they got the ball. Sion James slow walks it. 117 to 90. See a shot clock violation. Hornets, they do it on purpose. 17 seconds left to go. 117, 1. Oh, Hornets kept them under 100. I just not noticed that. It's over with. 117 to 90. Hornets kept the Dallas Mavericks under 90 points. And let's see how much they scored in the fourth quarter, if they scored under 25. Ooh, they held them to 18 in the fourth quarter. The Charlotte Hornets held them to 18 in the fourth quarter. Good defensive stance. 18 in the fourth quarter. There was no quarter that the Dallas Mavericks scored over 25 points. 1, 2, 3, or 4. And in the fourth quarter, where it means the most for the Dallas Mavericks, they scored their less or their least. Wow, the Charlotte Hornets, man, that's pretty impressive defensively. Now, offensively, we've seen better. But defensively, that was a good overall game. Box scores as we close out the stream. Let's see box scores. Okay, Concanippo 13, Bridges 11, Diabate 7, Miller 17, Lamelo 15, and he got 9 assists. Let me see how many turnovers Lamelo had. He had 4 turnovers. So there you have it. 117 to 90. The Charlotte Hornets hold up inside their silo and kept the Dallas Mavericks under 90 points. So big win for Charles Lee and company for doing that. And it was impressive to see their defense smother the Dallas Mavericks. And on that note, I'm out.
We love it, baby. Big ball of sound.
Flight